So I've generated close to $100 million in revenue using YouTube to build my personal brand. And that equates to 590 videos across all of my channels, 9 years of consistency, and 5.4 million subscribers. But I didn't get here overnight, and it definitely wasn't just luck or good content. Listen, I really started to treat YouTube like a specific science. I am very intentional with the content I put out. My team and I have obsessively tested every variable imaginable. We have analyzed thousands of thumbnails, tested thousands of titles, and explored every tool under the sun. And after years of testing, I have identified the best software stack for YouTube, a set of tools that have helped me grow on YouTube year on year. So if you are doing 6 figures a year with your business, but you are bleeding money on Facebook ads and paid acquisition, and you just want a better way, well, this video is for you, because I'm about to show you the exact tools you need to dominate on YouTube and turn your viewers into buyers. Tools that most YouTube gurus don't even know exist. And by the way, what I am sharing today is just scratching the surface. There is a lot more to this. And if you are serious about growing your personal brand, this is exactly what I help entrepreneurs with inside of my private licensing program, 8-Figure License. So if you want to learn how to build a content machine that prints money on demand, I've gone ahead and left a link in the description for you to book a call with my team. But for now, grab a pen and paper, because I'm about to save you hundreds of hours of testing and thousands of dollars in software subscriptions. So with that being said, let's begin. You see, YouTube's algorithm is actually pretty simple once you understand it. It really cares about 2 things: click-through rate and session watch time. Because when you nail these 2 metrics, YouTube pushes your content to more people. Quite frankly, it's really that simple. Now you might be wondering, what is session watch time? Well, that's how long someone stays on YouTube watching your content. Put simply, the longer they watch, the stronger your personal brand gets. Now you might be wondering, what is CTR? Well, that is how many people click when they see your video. Higher clicks means more exposure. So keep these metrics in mind, because every tool I'm about to show you is designed to maximize either one or both of these metrics. So the first one is Adobe Creative Cloud. Okay, let's start with the foundation here. Adobe Creative Cloud, you see, at our level, one poorly produced video can really tarnish our reputation. And when you're operating at scale, you can't really afford to mess up like that. But here's what most people miss. It's not just about making look pretty. Sometimes I actually create content specifically with our raw aesthetic. So it's not about that. It's more about maintaining our signature style across all of our content. You see, my content team uses Premiere Pro for clean professional edits and Photoshop for those thumbnails that you see on my channels that you look at and you simply can't help but click. And then we use Frame for rapid review and iteration. But the real power isn't in any single feature. It's the system as a whole. You see, when you're rehashing 7 videos a week, creating 20 plus thumbnails, and scaling a personal brand that generates millions, you need a bulletproof system. And Adobe's shared asset library ensures that every single piece of content that goes out is on brand. While other channels struggle with consistency, we maintain our production quality control is insanely high, which keeps people watching. And that is how you maximize session watch time. And as a byproduct, build a scalable brand. Now moving on, let's talk about thumbnails. You see, most creators think that thumbnails are art, and quite frankly, they're not. It's actually engineering. And for engineering thumbnails, we use ClickPilot. And here is why this tool is so powerful. You see, it has a feed mockup feature that shows us exactly how our thumbnails will look on YouTube directly from our audience's perspective. And on top of that, ClickPilot actually gives us access to over 40,000 successful thumbnails. That is 40,000 examples of what actually works. Thumbnails that actually make people click. But we don't just copy what works, we reverse engineer the process. So here is our system. First, we'll go ahead and analyze top performing thumbnails, and we break down every single element that drives clicks, because remember, for thumbnails, CTR is key. Then each member of my design team actually creates 3 thumbnail variations for each video. And then they select 2 for testing, and we test them against one another. This is not guesswork, this is pure engineering. And when you engineer thumbnails the right way, your CTR skyrockets, meaning more people click on your videos, and YouTube pushes your content to even more people. And with that, your channel exponentially grows. Now, moving on to our next tool, let me tell you something that I've noticed. You see, it's funny, I've seen quite a few people saying my rise on YouTube was lucky. And to be honest, that's complete and utter BS. I've been studying YouTube for over 9 years, and every single decision I make is backed by data. And this is where our next tool, View Stats, comes in. You see, there's a reason Mr. Beast created this tool. YouTube is a numbers game. To dominate YouTube, you must look at the data. And here is why this tool is so interesting. It doesn't just show you views, it shows you money. You see, after publishing a video, you can see how much money your video made, not just for your channel, but for other creators too. I mean, think about it for a second. We can literally see which type of videos are making the most money, and we can spot patterns and adapt our strategy accordingly. This is not some guru BS, it is pure data. And we really use view stats for three main reasons. Number one, to track our daily revenue. Number two, to identify which content types print money. And number three, to see which content makes other creators millions. You see, when a video performs well, we dissect every single element of it. We analyze why it worked and we double down on it. When it doesn't perform, well, we learn and adjust. But let me be completely honest with you. A lot of what view stats shows us, the analytics, thumbnails, history, and video rankings, you can technically just get that straight from YouTube Studio. I mean, you could even track thumbnail changes manually if you really wanted to. And the revenue stats are nice, but they're not gonna make or break your channel. So is view stats essential? No. Is it a nice to have? Absolutely. And when you're building an 8-figure personal brand, every competitive edge matters. Now, the fourth tool is actually my favorite one, and I attribute a lot of my YouTube success to this tool. You see, most people think that a video's performance is locked in after publication, but what they don't realize is that this mindset alone is costing them millions. TubeBuddy is the main tool behind my rehashing system. If you don't know what rehashing is, it's a technique I pioneered alongside with my content team. I actually made an entire video breaking it down, if you actually want to go watch it after this, but essentially TubeBuddy allows us to split test our YouTube content, and it means that every video in our library is a living asset. We constantly test our thumbnails, titles, descriptions, and tags. I mean, think about it. Imagine being able to find a winning thumbnail for your video every single time, without fail. That exponentially increases the amount of people who click on your video. So let me break down how we actually use TubeBuddy. We use the legend pack for A/B testing, and then from there, we decide what are we going to test. Here, there are two main options, the thumbnail test or the metadata test. And that actually allows you to test titles, descriptions, and tags, but you can't test both at once. So when running a thumbnail test, my design team will actually select two thumbnails that they want to test. They will set the test duration, and by the way, for channels bigger than 100,000 subscribers, I actually recommend testing for longer periods or even indefinitely. For smaller channels, we test for 2 weeks. And then at the end of the test, TubeBuddy actually calculates a statistically significant result based on CTR, and that tells you which thumbnail is the winner. And there you have it. You now have a YouTube video that will give you more clicks just because of some small changes. But it doesn't need to stop there. You can keep going. And remember, the same can be done for titles, descriptions, and tags. Now, I actually want to give you an example for one of these videos I posted all the way back in September of 2022. It was titled 4 Things You Should Avoid If You Want to Get Rich. So we decided to A/B test a thumbnail in January 2023. A few months after we posted it, what was the result? We took a 4-month-old video from a 3% CTR to a 5.8% CTR in just 5 days. And if we really just take a step back and actually just put that into perspective for you, we nearly doubled the amount of people clicking on our video just with this small tweak. Now multiply that across 590 videos. That is the beauty of TubeBuddy. Now you are starting to understand how I've managed to dominate the YouTube game for years. A/B testing is what allows you to scale effortlessly. But there's actually a lot more to this process, just like choosing what videos to rehash and so on. But I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty of that today because like I said, I've already made a video breaking down my rehashing strategy. But listen, it does not stop there. Success on YouTube isn't about following trends. It is about anticipating them. And that is where our next tool, vidIQ, comes in. You see, this is actually the newest addition to our YouTube software stack. And we haven't fully tested it out yet, but the capabilities of this thing are amazing. What it does is it analyzes your market and shows you exactly what's working. And more importantly, what is about to work. Listen, I'm gonna admit I've gone pretty good at spotting trends ahead of time, but my team still uses vidIQ to validate our decisions. And here's where things get interesting. It actually has a generator feature, which gives you title ideas, keyword recommendations, and description suggestions. But my favorite feature is actually the outlier feature, which shows you videos that are performing way above average. So that way I can spot that, and then I can reverse engineer exactly what's working. Listen, when you are running a multi-million-dollar business and running multiple YouTube channels, you cannot afford to get. You need data and you need systems. Now, all of these tools have helped take my YouTube channel to the next level and build my personal brand. But there is one final piece to this puzzle, which actually allows my team to bring together the entire system. Because in reality, the difficult part of rehashing is actually tracking everything and keeping everything in one place. So for this, we use Notion. I'm sure you've heard about it. This is no crazy revelation. On Notion, we track CTR, session watch time, and pretty much every other relevant metric. Despite not being a content tool per se, Notion is really the backbone of our entire entire content operation. Every thumbnail, every video asset, and every performance metric is centralized in one place. And that helps my content department make informed decisions when it comes to picking thumbnails, changing titles, and so on. Now here is a template of what the thumbnail team dashboard that my team uses actually looks like. And as you can see, our designers have clear ownership of each asset. They tag every piece of content and track performance in real time. But by the way, it's not just about organization, it's about scalability. You see, when you're running multiple channels and generating millions in revenue, you need the right systems in place. Yet, this is the number one mistake that I see business owners make. And this is exactly what I help people with inside of my private licensing program, 8-Figure License. Now, don't get me wrong, the software stack has been a massive help, but it's truly our robust content systems that allow everything to work seamlessly. And inside of 8FL, my team will help you build this. So that way you can grow your personal brand, scale your business, and just make an obscene amount of money. So if you are a business owner making more than $250,000 a year and you are serious about building a negative cost of acquisition using my YouTube strategy, AKA you get paid money to get customers, which by the way, in any traditional business is like the craziest thing ever. The fact that with YouTube, you actually get paid money to get customers is like, it feels like a dream sometimes. And if you want that implemented in your business, we are the best in the world. There's no one on earth that has been able to monetize from YouTube as quickly as I have, not only just in info, but also in my physical product brands, my software companies. With my whole empire at this point, I've been able to do almost 9 figures just tracked from YouTube. And by the way, we just keep hitting record year after record year. So we're not slowing down anytime soon. So with that being said, if you want these systems implemented in your business, that's exactly what we do with our clients at 8FL. Click the link in the description. I can't guarantee that we'll be the right fit for each other, but I can guarantee you that my business advisors will leave you in a better place than they found you. So with that being said, book in your call for 8FL. And as always, I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you.